Hey everyone, Charlene here. Did you know that you don't need bottled alcohol inks to get this gorgeous result? Today I'm using alcohol ink markers, vellum, and gold embossing powder to create an elegant floral card. And this card is pretty easy to make. So let's go down to my desk and see what we're working with. I have here the Summer Smiles stamps. These are from the Perfect Picnic release from Honeybee Stamps, and I'll be using the coordinating dies as well. I did want to show you that there are coordinating stencils, so there are lots of different options with this stamp set. I'm going to start here by cutting out the large floral die from a piece of heavyweight vellum. Heavyweight vellum works best for this technique because we're going to add alcohol and move color around on the vellum. I'm also cutting out that same floral die from white cardstock. We're going to use that later behind the vellum so the colors stay bright on our finished card. I'll set the white die cut aside and then I'll grab my stamp set and I'm going to lay the vellum over the top so that way I can see that stamp image coming through the vellum. To hold the vellum in place, I'll use a couple of pieces of doubled up low tack tape behind the vellum and that will stick to the acetate sheet. We're using alcohol ink markers for this technique instead of bottled alcohol inks. So now I can see exactly where to put the color. I'm starting out here with a light pink. This is R5.1 and I'm going to color all over the florals. I'm not doing anything fancy here. So if alcohol inks or coloring tend to intimidate you, this does not have to be difficult. You can see I'm just scribbling back and forth all the way across the two florals. I did do a second coat because this is a lighter alcohol ink. I want to make sure I have enough on there. Now I'm bringing in a slightly darker pink. This is RV 0.2 and I'm going to take this around all of the petals. So this is where the flower would have some natural shadows. I'm not being particular. Again, nothing fancy here, just really quickly going around all the petals. I'll again do that a second time to build up the ink. Then I can bring in my darkest color, which is RV 0.4. And for this dark color, I'm just doing a couple of flicks here and there where I think it would be really dark on the floral. And because this is a darker color, I'm not going to do it a second time. Now I'll switch over to my leaves, and for the leaves I'm going to use some greens. I have YG 1.4 and I'll do the same thing that we did with the florals. I'm just going to take an all over of my marker all the way across all of the leaves. Then I can bring in YG 1.6 and I'll bring that along the edges of the petals. I'll bring it along the centers of the leaves and then I'll add a little bit at the tip of each of the leaves as well as at the bases of the leaves. So I'm all done and you may be looking at this thinking it looks like a hot mess. And honestly, it kind of does, but that is completely fine. The markers are just the first step. The alcohol is what is going to move and soften everything. So I have alcohol blending solution and 91% isopropyl alcohol here along with a blower tool. I'll start with the alcohol blending solution and I'm going to go fairly light at first. I'm just going to add a few drops to the flower, trying to hit where those dark spots are. Then I'll use my blower tool to move around and soften the alcohol inks in those spaces. The goal here is not perfect blending. I'm just softening the marker lines and letting the color move around to create that loose organic floral texture. I'm using the blower tool to move the color gently. I do not want to oversaturate the vellum, so I'm starting light and adding more only where I need it. Once I'm happy with my florals, I'll start by adding a drop on my leaves. And I'm going to do the same thing with the leaves that I did with the florals. The main difference is I'm going to be much more careful because along that line where the pink and the green meet, it can very easily turn into a brown mess. You can see I'm trying to blow away from the pink so that way I get minimal mixing of the two colors. The difference between blending solution and isopropyl alcohol is that blending solution is made up of isopropyl alcohol and propylene glycol. That propylene glycol is in there to keep everything viscous for longer, so that way it doesn't dry as quickly. It gives you more time to blend things together. So if you don't have blending solution, you could do this with just isopropyl alcohol. Now, if you have rubbing alcohol is just isopropyl alcohol with water in it. So you want to make sure whatever percentage of isopropyl alcohol is in it is pretty high. I like to use 91%. I find that that works best. Once I'm done blending everything, I'm going to continue to use my blower tool on here to get things nice and dry before the next step. The next step is totally optional. I just like the way it looks. The isopropyl alcohol will dry more quickly, so it's going to push the color away from itself and it's going to give you a mottled effect. So from afar, I'm gently doing one spritz and you can see how it's created that gorgeous mottled effect on the flowers. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to blow on this to help it dry and you'll see that beautiful mottled effect on here. For the next step, you do want to make sure that your piece is completely dry. So it's a good time to take a restroom break or clean up your space. I'll place my dried piece in the center of my stamping platform. Then I'm going to take that coordinating large floral stamp and lay it over the top so that it's centered. It may be helpful for you to take the acetate sheet and place it over the vellum. That might help you to line up your stamp. Then I'll pick up my stamp with the top plate, cover the entire piece with anti-static powder, then use some clear embossing ink to ink up my stamp. I'll flip my top plate over and press down, and I'm going to make sure to apply really good solid pressure so I don't miss any of the details on the stamp. To pick up my vellum, I'm using some tweezers. That can be really helpful when you're working with a sticky platform. Then I'll place my vellum on a piece of paper and cover the entire thing with some gold embossing powder. I'll use my tweezers again to carefully grab the edge of the vellum, and then I can tap off the vellum so that way the excess powder comes off. Once my heat tool is nice and hot, I'll bring it to the vellum and melt the embossing powder. Now this is going to melt very quickly on vellum. Air heats up vellum much more quickly than it does cardstock, so keep that in mind. That's why a heavyweight vellum is really important. I'm using a silicone mat here, but you also could hold it by the edge with some tweezers. So once that is melted, you can see everything is nice and shiny, and we've added all of the detail back in. The finished vellum piece is going to look different depending on what is behind it. Since I'm using a colored card base, I'm gluing the vellum to the white die cut that we created earlier. This is going to keep those soft pinks and greens really bright instead of letting them disappear into the background. So I'll start here by adding glue to the white die cut. The nice thing about this technique is you don't have to worry about the glue showing through the vellum. The alcohol markers are thick enough that you won't see any of those glue lines. I'm going to take my piece and I'm going to cut it in half because I want to create a floral frame rather than have the floral as one centerpiece. This is nice because it naturally creates a spot for us to put our sentiment. So I'm just using a paper trimmer. You also could use scissors for this. So I've lined it up where I want it to be and I'll cut across. Then I can add glue to the back of the piece I'm going to have on the left-hand side. And I can easily line this up right along the edge. I'll do the same thing here for the right piece, adding glue and putting it where I want it. Then I'm just using my paper trimmer to remove any of the excess pieces. Now, depending on how full you want your panel to be, you may want to make more than one of these. I'm going to go ahead and make a second one off camera. I created my second one, and you can see it's just as beautiful as the first. And I'm going to use this kind of as Frankenstein parts. So I'll just take a few pieces here and there to fill out the edges of my card panel. I'm pretty happy with this, so I'll set it aside, and I'm going to keep my scraps here because I can probably use them on another project. For my sentiment, we're going to do a little more heat embossing. I've chosen to use some black cardstock with some white embossing powder. It's going to create some really nice contrast for the sentiment. I added black foam squares to the back of the sentiment, and then I'm going to place it right in this area where the two sides are almost meeting each other. So that'll help bridge the entire design together. So here's our finished card. What I love about this technique is that it gives you that loose alcohol ink style without needing bottled alcohol inks. The markers add the color, the blending solution softens everything, and then that gold embossing brings back all of the beautiful detail. I hope that you all picked up some tips and tricks today. Please be sure to like and subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell so that you'll know about future videos here on the Honeybee Stamps YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.